Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you all back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Thank you guys so much for being with me each day on this journey. Our tangles for today are going to be Ixarus. This is a Zentangle original pattern. And Boulder Builder. It is a pattern by CZT Bunny Wright, who we lost back in August, which I was very sorry to hear. So let's get started. Now for today, I'm going to be working in black and graphite and on an original Zentangle tile. I do apologize. Linda and somebody else mentioned that I was not giving the type of tile and things at the beginning, so I need to do a better job on that, and I do apologize. All right, let's get started. Now, for today, let's get some breathing in before we get started. We are going to be doing some aura-ing today, and that is going to require all of us, especially me, to be very relaxed and very in tune with what we're doing. All right, so let's take some deep breaths. While we listen to my child snicker at YouTube in the other room while we're trying to meditate. We're breathing, don't snicker. We're breathing, don't bark. What is going on with people today? I turn on the camera and all of a sudden everybody's got something to say. All right. I am trying to let my shoulders drop down and relax. And let's get started with Ixarus. Ixarus is very much an original tangle. It is based on repetition and auras, and you may recognize a bit of crescent moon action in this tangle. Now, as I did yesterday, I'm sort of going to move the center or the focal point of my tangle up a little bit further into the corner, just so it's not right in the center. And I'm going to start Ixarus with some straight lines that intersect through the middle. Now, I think I'm just going to put these partially, not all the way down to the bottom. I could do an entire tile with Ixarus easily, but I want to fit some Boulder Builder in there. That's going to be a problem for me, I can already tell you. So I'm going to do it sort of like a cross a little bit, and then I'm going to divide that into two halves. I don't know. Leave me alone. We're just getting started and I'm already messing up. All right. So something like that, where I have one longer one and the rest are a tiny bit shorter. But again, of course, as always, you can do as you will. All right. The first thing we're going to do on this is we're going to aura to one side each one of these sections of lines, okay? So what we want to do is just make some careful auras. Now, you may not need to do yours as slowly as that. And we're going to repeat these auras on the same side of each one of these, okay? We're not going to do both sides, just one side, okay? I'm trying for consistency with my aura lines. Oh, do you see how nice and straight that is? I just got excited a little bit. All right, and this one I'm going to bring down like that. Not quite as straight, but it is consistent with the line I aura'd, so I can live with that. So I just noticed something not so exciting for me. I have gotten larger with each one of these as I have gone. Now, a couple of things occur. I'm going to go back to making this one a little bit smaller. I'm having trouble. Yeah, it's all right. I chose this tangle for a reason, and that was because it was going to make me work for it. I'm going to redraw this line and see if I can't get something a little bit more bold. Now, as with all tangles, these don't have to be perfect, okay, which is clearly good. So what might I do in this instance to, and I didn't do this intentionally, absolutely not. This is just how it goes with me. This one was so nice, and so I went for another one, and that just got a little bit bigger, and yeah, I don't know. So one thing I could do is I could add an internal line right in the middle here, going down, and then when I got to these smaller ones, I could add one on the outside, and that would be okay. It would also take up some of the room in these smaller sections that I'm not excited about doing that. My other option, of course, is to just leave this the way it is and live with it. And I think, at least for now, that's what I'm going to do. I could always add another line in here if that's what I wanted to do, but I really think once we get everything going, it's not going to be that big a deal. So let's see if I'm right. The next step is to draw one of these crescent moon starts, and I like to make mine sort of flattened out and kind of skinny. And we're going to ink it in. Okay. Now, on her step out, Maria has, and I don't know if everybody notices this, I noticed that Linda Farmer's example was not consistent with this on tangle patterns, so, and that's not a complaint, that is, it made me go back and look. So what Maria has, her goal here is for you to put one of these sections on each side, and what we want is for them to look like they go in an S shape, okay? And so what I've done is figured out a way to do that so that it's not too much thinking for me. And what I'm doing is I'm making a nice aura, hopefully. Just as I do on Crescent Moon. And then from this aura line here, I'm imagining this is the start of my section on the other side. Yeah. Then when you put your aura line in over here, that is also going to match up, okay? So you have something really clean and pretty like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this on each one. Now Maria tends to, and I got these almost equal, which was not my intent, but Maria tends to make this one up here in the corner a little larger and the one down on the other side a little smaller. But again, these can look however you want them to look. There's no rule for this. Okay, and then I'm going to do my careful aura this way. And do a slightly smaller one down on the edge on the other side. Like this. That one wasn't quite as elegant as this one, but that's okay. It's still going to work fine. Don't change your stroke, Cindy. Now, keeping these skinny or thin will help you fit more arrows in. And so that doesn't necessarily have to be a big thing, but and once again, I got these closer in size than I would have liked, but it's okay. And they don't have to be perfect, goodness sakes. Thank you. Simba, I love you. Please don't help me draw today, buddy. Got a little crazy with that, but I can fix that in this instance by extending this. Please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up, Cindy. By extending this inked area. And then I have fixed that. I might come and fix that with my 01 here in a minute. There we go. Now I'm going to have to decide what I'm going to do with the end of this. For now, I think I will leave that as so. And over here, I'm going to really make this one large. Slow down. I'm rushing the inking again, and my pen has stopped flowing nicely, and the minute I slow down, here it comes back. There, much nicer. Okay, so now these don't have to be at the very end of your section, right? You can continue around them. Okay. And so this should be a good example of how you can make these, however, and some people make them fat. I just prefer not to. I think that's a cleaner line with this. But you may do them, of course, as you wish. Not too fast. This pen still has plenty of ink in it. Just I don't give it time to get there. So try not to rush your ink pens. Yeah. But I don't want it to hang off the end. Although, you know, if that's what you want. I forgot something here, didn't I? I need to not change it up. That will make a much better thing. All right, just a couple more here, and then we will get on with the auras. There. Much better. It's always nice when I remember I can do that. How is everybody's Saturday? Thank you, Nancy Pearson, for that very well-timed mono zero that you sent me today. You guys have been going to town this week. Mari's going to start getting jealous that none of the packages are for him. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Because the packages are almost never for me, so. This week, they have definitely been mine. It's been like Christmas in February. Shoot, this is better than Christmas. Here, one more. Yeah. All right, that'll work. Now, the best way to handle this, you can do it section by section, but for me, the best way to handle it is to continue to go in the same order. That way, when or if there's overlapping, then you have a chance to decide about that and how you want to finish it off. And there's no set way for how to finish this off. You can continue to add auras as much or as little as you want to here. Okay, so I'm going to add at least a few more sets of auras so you can follow along or explore your own thing. Now I'm going to be really focusing on taking my time and making neat auras. And really focusing on each stroke of the pen and keeping them consistent with the stroke before them. Whoops. I find this tangle very elegant. It's very visually interesting. I think the key to this is neat, evenly spaced auras, and that's sometimes, of course, the hardest part. Simba, somebody sent a squirrel pic for you today. You have somebody chasing your little puppy dreams. Good job, people. Thanks for the squirrel and the squirrel video. That was good, too. Squirrels are ornery creatures. Simba. No chasing while mommy is drawing auras. That will not work today. No. No, wake up, baby boy. So it is dunkel. If I could borrow a word from our German friends, it's very dark and dank, and we had a cloud on the ground this morning. We had fog, and yeah, and it's just been dreary today. So I don't have any nice natural light going for me, but that's okay. All right, where was I? Here. Hold still, Sam. I don't think I have phased him at all with his nap. Okay. As you go around, try to do the same element first and the same element second. Yeah. I don't think it matters which one you do first and which one you do second, but I think it will help if you have them happening in the same order each time. I'm still not sure what I'm doing here, but I need to figure it out. Isn't this lovely? I really like this pattern. It requires that you focus on each stroke. The consistency is a big part of this. So I really like the way this is turning out. Now let me look and see what I have here. Well, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go ahead on these up here and fill in some more sections. So let's see how that looks. I think I changed the direction, didn't I? Or the order. Luckily, I don't think it matters. I'm going to regret this. Okay, that's not so terrible. Maybe one more. Now, at this point, you can fill this in as you would with crescent moon, right? In any of the ways that you do with crescent moon. You could make one of them overlap over the other one. You could do the auras and just start start making these separate auras into one aura, like this, like we frequently do with crescent moon. You could, I think I said overlapping, you could also do it the way Mazzy did in her crescent moon video that we talked about back several weeks back, where she ended each one and went out like that, which might make a very interesting end to this. So I haven't quite decided what I want to do. I think I will add another one here, another aura set here. So that in each section I have these auras touching. Now, in order to do that here, that's going to be difficult. I've got this one already coming down further than my lines, so I'm trying to decide. So I think I'll put a few more on this long one. Sorry. Maybe. And you really can make these work for you in whatever way you want. So I'm just going to fill this out until these touch. Like that, okay? And I think I'll do some more on these. Well, that was a little lumpy, but we'll make the next one perfect and it'll be all right. And of course, the one after that's going to be lumpy too. All right, and I think I'll put one more going this way. Perfect. All right. How often do I say that? Not often. Let's enjoy it. Let's take a minute and enjoy that. It is imperfectly perfect. I want to add another one this way. All right, I think I'll stop that one there and then fill in this one. Even though all of my auras are nowhere near perfect, I have done a really, really good job today with them, I feel like, for me. I'm very pleased with my auras. All right, so now let's draw in some Boulder Builder. That makes me smile. I can't ever say it. So Boulder Builder is so simple, and yet really, really effective. And I've sort of wanted to do it for a while now and thought, oh, it's so simple. Yeah, well, it's simple for a reason, because it's awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in some parallel lines. They can be any width apart. You can make them skinny or long. It doesn't matter. It's just going to change the way that your little boulders are set up. Now, this is very symmetrical the way that I did this, and that's not necessarily what you want. You want some differing lengths and widths and things like that. So I'm going to try to do a bit better on this. Or you could do this the way that you would a brick wall, for example. And do your divisions and alternate them between rows. Okay, and so on this row up here, we would divide like this. Yeah. But again, you can do them randomly. You can do them symmetrically in whatever way you want. Now, I'm going to put in another row here, I think. Whoops. See if we can go straightish. Interesting. I think this is going to look good. Now, let's see. So I would divide that there, maybe here, here, and that'll work well. Now the question is, do I want to continue? Do I want to stop here? What do I want to do? I think one thing I kind of want to do is put little half one. Just for fun, because I can. Yeah. And so this would be something like this. That's probably narrower, but it's okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as your divisions. Now the last thing you do, and I'm going to switch my 0-1. I've been drawing with my PN in black, and I'm going to change to my 0-1 because we're going to do some rounding, and we know that rounding is an issue for me, so that I want to use a smaller nib pen so that I can maybe do a bit neater of a job. So I'm going to go to each one of these spots, and I'm going to just round the sharp points off ever so slightly. Doesn't have to be a big deal, but if you get a big deal out of it, that's okay too. This little extra bit of rounding makes them seem like stones or bricks or whatever. I'm just putting a sort of a rounded flat V in there and inking in. Okay, something like this. That's nice. I'm just doing this at each T-point that I have. Okay. Just a few more. And we will be ready for the shading. Do I need one over here? I think I do. And just like that, that stray line went away. I figured if I waited long enough, it would take care of itself. All right. Just to make it a little interesting. Yeah, all right. Now, if you want these a little rounder, I've got these pretty squared off, but if you want yours to be rounder, you can certainly do that. If you, for example, I've got thicker lines in here, you can certainly do something like that and really round off the corners well. I don't know, I may come in and add some more, but let's tackle some shading before I get distracted with anything else, okay? Actually, while I've got this, I think I will put my chop right here in this one. There's just too much to play with and too little time. There we go. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. I like it. Okay. All right. Pencil and tortillon. Now, Ixarus is very simple to shade, and it really does depend on how much effort you want to put in here. I like to shade on this where these, for me, overlap. I mean, the way in my perception they do. So I'm just putting some color on one side of each one of these lines. There. And there. And there. Okay. Then, for each one of these sections, just run your pencil along the arid edges of these straight lines that we began with. And you can use as much or as little graphite as you want. And continue to the next section. Now again, you don't want to put a lot of graphite over your ink, but to each side of that for sure. I'm trying to keep it out of the barred section as much as possible, and of course that's not going to be a problem for me. Why? Because I have a mono zero from Nancy Pearson today. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for everybody else. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Nancy, my other Nancy. I have several Nancys, and I love you all. And Polly. Or you might not be one of them, but you were asking me. Thank you guys so much. Gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude. I have it. Now you might notice I'm having a little fun with my sort of crescent moon things. This is the way I like to shade crescent moon, which is to one side and leaving sort of a highlighted area towards the middle. But of course, this is me. You do yours the way you want. I like to accentuate my curves here. We'll see how this turns out. And if you guys have decided to fill your sections in all the way, that is great. Anything you want to do is perfect. Perfect in its imperfection, huh? I think that we as humans sometimes put way too much emphasis on whatever we consider perfection in that moment, and forget that some of the perfection in nature is asymmetrical and imperfect. Nature is not perfect at all, but it is beautiful, beautiful. And someone, I think I may have mentioned this before, someone back when we were talking about art and beauty and all that stuff, someone had left the mention that somewhere somewhere, I can't remember where, they intentionally, in their weavings, they intentionally weave errors and problems. It may be India. Into their work, because they find that only God is perfect, and therefore they should not even attempt it. I find that a beautiful sentiment, a beautiful sentiment. And then are the imperfections, as it were, that you have woven in, once they become intentional, then they have their own beauty, I believe. So, yeah. We are feeling philosophic today. There we go. Let's blend this and see where we end up. I think I'm going to like this a lot. It's going to be very simple, and yet it's going to work, I think. It is good to be alive today. It is good to have paper and pencil and pen and the creative ideas to put them to work and make something beautiful. I'm so grateful. I'm full of gratitude today for the gifts that I have been given in this life. For my son, who, despite the way he behaves sometimes, actually does love me. Doesn't he? Cracks the whip. See? I can say whatever I want, and he doesn't pay attention. Works for me. Oh my goodness. Julianne, my Irish friend. Hang in there, lady. To Caleb, love your mom, even though she bugs you. Just saying. Because someday, when times are tough, she will be the one that stands by your side, not anyone else. Her. So go easy on your mom, and know what a blessing it is to be loved that much by a person. Goes double for you, Mari. See, he's not listening. That's okay. Be grateful that you have somebody that loves you so much that they bug you, baby. I am. Good job. Good answer. Good answer. It's my kid. All right. So definitely got some cleaning up to do over here with the graphite. I went a little nuts in here. But luckily, thank you, Nancy, I have a mono zero where I can find it today. So yay. All right. Now, Boulder Builder. I got it right. Here's what we're going to do with this bad boy. The easiest way to shade this is going to be to put an L along one corner like this, and then sort of round that off with your graphite just a little bit. It's going to be very light, very understated. If you get too much, you can lift it out. But you just want a sort of a little rounded corner of graphite there. Oh my goodness, River. 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 There is something wrong with that dog. River. Yes, my good girl. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That child needs a vet appointment. I'm gonna go see what is up with her. She sounds like she has a deviated septum or something. It's something. Anyway. Okay. So I got distracted by the snoring. Sorry about that. Here we go. We're back. If you get too much in, just lift a tiny bit out until what you have is very understated, okay? Now, if you want to make this darker, you can, but I found in the examples that I've seen that the lighter it is, the more effective it seems to be. So this is how I'm going to handle my shading and hope for even less. In these narrow ones, I'm just going to put a hint like that. Oh, Simba's thinking about it. Petey, are you ready to howl? Are they going the other way, Sim? Well, he's thinking about it. All right, here they come. Some gorgeous singing, Simba. That is some beautiful singing. Mari, I'm recording, baby. I'm recording. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm not sure who enjoys the howling on Saturday afternoons more, the dogs or the boy. He loves howling with them. And River has really gotten into the whole spirit of the howling at noon on Saturdays with us. She can't quite howl. She yelps. Or yips or something. She doesn't yelp, but she, she barks. And, yeah, Simba is a singer. It's like, you should have a box at the opera for him. She's just a yapper. We like her, though. She is my little patience tester. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shade these ones that I can reach here, okay? And then after I'm done, I will probably come back in here and do some more shading around the Ixarus element. But for now, I want to get my larger things done, and then, well, yeah, okay. For now, this is the way I'm going to do it. Work with me, guys. Work with me. Now, I assume that you can see what I'm doing here, even though I am barely touching down. I can't wait to see what some of y'all's tiles are. Some of you guys are so good at shading that, yeah, I want to go to your classes. Or some of you guys are good at shading because you're in Annie's art club with me. And yeah, I've got to do her pen and ink, her newest lesson on pen and ink. Holy cow. I saw somebody in Netherlands tiles from that lesson. Holy cow, I've got to do that lesson. I have got to do that lesson. Because you had some good artwork, lady. Or gentleman. I don't know. I need to not make assumptions. So it's funny. I left a comment on a video that I watched as I was learning to build my YouTube channel. It's from a place called vidIQ, and anyway, they give you analytics on your videos and teach you how to get them ready for YouTube and that kind of thing. Anyway, so I had left months back a message, and you know me, you guys know me, I'm all about the hearts and the love and all of that stuff. So I the guy on that channel who's usually the face person from that channel's name is Rob, and so I said something about hi Rob, something about what the video had been about, and that I was looking forward to it, and I gave him a pink, one of my purple hearts that I usually give you guys, and like months later, this other YouTube channel gets on there and answers my comment and says, "Hey, stop giving pink hearts to my boyfriend." I'm like, dude. Oh, some people have too much time on their hands. Too much time. Just saying. And I don't think it was actually his boyfriend. He was just playing around. I hope I'm not getting Rob into trouble. If you're watching, Rob, which I know you're not. Yeah. Oh well. Not trying to get anybody in trouble. Just trying to have some fun and spread the joy. All right. One more over here, I think. All right. Oh, this looks so good. I just stopped looking at the squares and started looking at the whole thing, and it looks good. What do you guys think? What do you think of this Boulder Builder thing? I had not even tried to draw it because I thought it was just, there wasn't enough going on with it. But, to put under something nice for the background, under a sort of a busy pattern, this is great. This is a great tile filler. Bunny has a bunch of tangles on tangled patterns, and most of them are awesome. So you should definitely look her up and check her out. Bunny Wright. I read her obituary, and I couldn't help but think to myself, what a great way to be remembered as, a family person, as a person that was creative and shared joy with other people through their creativity. That's all I want from my life. That's all I want is to make others' lives better through this sharing creative joy. That's, if that's all I can step into heaven and say to God when I get there, I'm going to go, Lord, I shared your beauty the best way I could. And this, it makes me smile sometimes, as I feel almost religious about my Zentangle practice, and I know that a lot of you understand where I'm coming from with that, because it has become sort of a religion, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that the philosophies that it brings us are so positive and so life affirming that it's hard not to let that be a part of your everyday life. Anyway, I love this. I love this tile. Now, the question is, do I want to add some shading here? And if I do, is that going to help me, or is it going to sort of make the shading confused? So I say, let's try some. Oops, and see where we end up. Thank you, Nancy. I know I'm going to find the other one under my bed, so I feel kind of bad, but thank you anyway. It's just really hard for me to get down there. And the kid is not as cool about that, helping me out, as he used to be when he was smaller. So what do we think of this? You know, this reminds me a little bit of graffiti. Over, you know, brick wall art, kind of a feel to it. And so in that instance, a little grunge with shading might be fun. I think I am going to add some, but again, this is me and you do not have to. I'm just going to darken the edges of some of these where they're overlapping. And I'm probably not going to take these all the way down on that one side, simply because I've been in too many of Annie's courses to just go crazy like that anymore. I look at some of my videos and I go, oh, Annie must shake her head. All right. But I don't, however, think that I want to add anything in my spaces that I have here. I think I like it. Sorry about that. I think I really like this the way it is. Now, I hope I don't have to redo this whole video because I had it out of frame most of the time. But I really like where we ended up with this. What do you guys think? It's very simple. It's very black and white. It's very, you know, non-realistic, but it still works for me really well. All right, guys. This is where we're going to leave it today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. We are going to be back tomorrow for could it be day 30 tomorrow? Holy cow. And we're going to see what I come up with then. If you guys have tangles you want to do, please, please, I'm begging you, leave them in comments for me. I am I'm running out of ideas. It's not that I've done everything on tangle patterns, but probably most of the things that speak to me I have done, and some of them done more than once. So if you guys would like to give me some suggestions, that would be great. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.